to know you are here again on Life and Living with Samson Olatunji. We are still talking about the good life that we desire, that we have started to achieve, that we want to advance. Today we want to talk about something that is also crucial. But before we continue, I want to implore you that those who are on this program for the first time, kindly make sure you click the subscription button and also the notification bell so that you may encourage us and be a part of this community that is never been left behind. Thank you. Yes, welcome back. We are talking about equity. Equity is that virtue of a good life that we want to examine this time. You may want to ask, what is equity? Equity is one virtue that is extremely rare, very hard to come by in our world. In fact, many people who strive to be equitable have realized that they have not been able to achieve it for as long as they have been trying. So if those who are striving to achieve equity have found it somehow elusive, what can we say about those who don't even know about it and those who have given up that they can never attain it? But I want to tell you, you can be equitable if you put all your faculties to work to understand it and to practice it. You may rise and fall several times, but you can get there. And now, what is that equity we are talking about? Being equitable means to be fair. It's talking about fairness. It's an advanced level of integrity. To be equitable means to give everyone what they deserve, no matter how difficult it may be. To make that happen, you just make sure those who deserve to be punished are punished without any compromise, and those that need to be positively rewarded are adequately rewarded. And this may sound very simple. However, you would know that it is not. If I examine all the ways I've been dealing with people, am I equitable? Are you equitable? And concerning the issue of equity, I remember something my late father used to say, that the way to be equitable is to maintain only one standard for all, and that there is nothing like double standard. Nothing like double standards. You either maintain one standard or you use multiple standards. Because once you derail from the path of equity, then the wind of compromise, the wind of compromise will blow one away. Now, let's examine this and know whether it doesn't sound familiar to what we have always seen. Let's look at certain scenarios. The first one is, if my enemy does it, he must be crucified for it. He has done an evil thing. The second one is, if my friend, my very dear friend, does it, the same thing. It was bad, but excusable. So we have to pardon him. If I did it, it was the right thing to do, because I couldn't have done otherwise. You can see that that's the lifestyle, the judgment value, the judgment system of most of us. The same thing, the same action, but we give different judgments. And that's how life is. That's how we have made life to be gone. Then if this describes the actions you have taken concerning certain issues before, then you can know you are not equitable. If it describes my actions also in some circumstances, it means I'm not equitable. So for somebody to be equitable, that person must be ready to be fair, to be rigidly fair, to be religiously fair. And people may think, no, that's not possible. But one thing is, some people are led lives of absolute equity. And so if we fail to achieve equity, their lives will condemn us on the last day. Let me give you the instance of somebody who was a military leader in Nigeria many years ago. Somebody very close to him, to his family, told me something that happened sometime. That he went on a journey that took him weeks, and while communing with his mother via telephone, the mother told him that the electricity supply to her house had been disconnected. And I'm very sure that must have been in error, because this was a man that would not owe government any amount, that would not do it. Everybody, as I'm talking now, Nigerians can begin to guess who this man I'm talking about is. And now, he just pacified his mother. Mom, please just take things easy. As soon as I come, I'm going to resolve that problem. And so when he got back home, he realized that his mother's house had been reconnected to the national grid. So he then asked, Mom, how did you do it? Did you go to complain? And the mother said, oh, thanks to so-and-so, the son of so-and-so in our neighborhood, he was the one that came and reconnected it to the national grid. He was furious. This man loved his mother. He respected his mother greatly, but he was annoyed. How could somebody go and do what is unlawful? So that was how he got the young man locked up by the police. The mother was crying, saying, oh, don't spoil my name, begging relatives to appeal to him. He was adamant. Though he loved his wife, though he loved his mother rather, though his mother was the beneficiary of that illegal action, he could not just bear it. He had to get the young man locked up in police cell until a later time. That is a man that epitomizes, that symbolizes equity. Could you have done the same thing if you had loved your mother as much as this man loved his mother? Could you not have said, well, it was a bad thing he did, but because my mother was the sole beneficiary, let's just pardon him? You can now see how difficult equity may be to practice. But one thing is this: when you practice equity, even people who are over and above you will fear you, and they will respect you. Even when it happens that certain circumstances just come against you, you find yourself in a situation where nobody can believe your story. If you have that testimony of being a man of integrity and of equity, they will just take your word for it. But there is a caveat also concerning that. If you are a man of equity, there will be many people that will be after your life to kill you. This man I'm talking about is dead now, and there are insinuations and strong beliefs in certain quarters that he was killed by people who are afraid of him. That's rather unfortunate, but his name has been written in gold in the country. So how do you judge whatever people do? Do you judge people differently based on your relationship with them? Then if you do that, you are not equitable. And when there is equity, our world will become a better place to live. It's because people who deserve to be punished are praised, that many people are still attempting such evil acts now, and our world is in disarray. So, can you join me as I have made my personal resolve to try my best to be equitable? Thank you very much for listening. I hope that when names of those who are always equitable in their acts are being mentioned, my name and your name will be listed among them. Once again, Life and Living with Samson Latoji. Goodbye.